I want to thank everyone here for joining us. My name is Richard with Wisdom Investor, and we have a special guest here today talking to us about ID theft. His name is Don Wiggum. He's a certified ID theft risk management specialist. He knows everything there is to know about ID theft. Don, can you tell us a little bit about yourself as we get started here?
Yes, Richard. I help a lot of people with identity theft issues. You know, identity theft has become the fastest growing white collar crime in America. It's a very, very serious issue. The Federal Trade Commission tells us that there's no stopping it. There's no slowing it down whatsoever. All you can do is catch it quickly and fix it quickly before there are massive damages that occur. And, you know, there's all kind of phishing situations out there where people send out emails that look official and, you know, want your information and so forth. There's all types of things happening with seniors. 16 million were hit with identity theft last year. And the Federal Trade Commission tells us again that it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse, Richard.
Yes, Don, that is very, very true. I've heard a lot of people in my line of area, either seniors or just regular folks, that they'll get an email and maybe it leads to some type of phishing spam or scam. What can you tell me about ID theft? Is it normally credit card type theft, or what type of ID theft is out there that's affecting people?
Well, and that's a great question, Richard, because the media has led people to believe that it's credit cards, because you'll hear in the news or something, Target had 50 million credit card numbers breached and all that. Well, the truth of the matter is that's what most people think identity theft is. Somebody charged something on my credit card. That's not identity theft. Identity theft is far more than that. That's credit card fraud. And here's the good news. The credit card companies do an outstanding job catching fraud, and we're not responsible for those charges. So they do an outstanding job of that. I'm not concerned about my credit cards because I don't have any liability there. What I'm concerned about is identity theft, which is somebody gets my social security number, my date of birth, my home address, my telephone number, all those type things. Over 10 million social security numbers are now being sold on the internet every month, Richard. So on a worldwide scale, people are committing crimes in our name. And the big thing here the last year or two has been people get a hold of your information or my information, and they set up a fake identity. In other words, they use your social security number, my driver's license, somebody else's date of birth, somebody else's address, and they set up a whole new person.
Wow.
They go out and make loans. They go out and get traffic tickets they don't pay. They make up driver's license numbers that are bogus under somebody else's name. It has to be a valid driver's license number. When they get stopped and run and they get a ticket or something, it has to go through. So they use somebody else's information, and then all of a sudden you're arrested for crimes you didn't commit, unpaid tickets, bank fraud charges. I had a gentleman not long ago that was a drug dealer in Colorado. He had never been to Colorado. He was convicted of federal bank fraud charges for defrauding a federal institution in Chicago. Never been to Chicago.
Wow.
Wound up losing his job. He was a convicted felon, and he lost his job, stayed unemployed for over 2 years while he tried to get all of it fixed, spent over $35,000 trying to get it all fixed. And as the Federal Trade Commission says, it'll take 200 man hours minimum during daytime hours to fix your identity, because the places that you have to work with to fix it aren't open night and weekends. It can be a life devastating issue. You got medical identity theft, you got driver's license, Social Security, all these different areas. The financial part of identity theft is 27% of it. The rest of it is where you can be devastated in your
Right.
life and you
Wow.
don't know about it for a long period of time. And all of a sudden, 82% of the people, Richard, find out through an adverse action. Been going on for years. You're a criminal. All of a sudden, you're pulled over on a routine traffic stop and arrested.
Yes, that is quite scary. A couple of the biggest things that scare me with identity theft is one is the cost of trying to get this taken care of, legal and so on, and also the time. Do you have any stories, examples, testimonies, how people have been helped with
Oh,
identity theft?
absolutely. Yes, with our plan, with ID Shield, we have the most comprehensive identity theft plan out there. The things you hear about on TV and radio are just monitoring services primarily. I mean, they'll recommend that you go somewhere and who to call and things like that, but it's all on your shoulders as what to do. With our plan, Richard, it goes into full monitoring. They even monitor the dark web, our plan does. And a lot of people don't understand the dark web. It is unbelievable what goes on the dark web with criminals exchanging information. Like I say, 10 million Social Security numbers now being bought and sold every month. So there's all kinds of things that they do, not just credit monitoring, but a variety of other things, change of address and everything. But the biggest difference in our plan and everything else out there, and the reason I have it, and that this is the one I chose to market, is because they have full and total restoration all across the country, total and full restoration by a licensed fraud investigator, not some clerk sitting in front of a computer screen telling you in the state of Washington, here's some phone numbers, Richard, you need to call. Good luck.
That's impressive. And I will have to say too, to our viewers, I carry the plan. That's why I thought it was important to have Don on here. I want to have protection. Now, Don, one of the things I do is I travel to other countries. Can your information be stolen while you're in another country? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, absolutely. And our plan covers you on a worldwide scale. You know, the biggest violators of identity theft issues right now is they hack into all kind of computers. You know, somebody says, hey, I'm very careful with my information. I'm real careful who I give my Social Security number to. I'm very careful who I give information. And that's good. We should all be careful. But the bad news is it's too late to be careful.
Right,
And
right.
here's what I mean. If you've ever been to a doctor's office, a dental office, applied for a loan, applied for a credit card, or done anything, you've given out your personal information, your birthday, your Social Security number. All the credit bureaus have it. There's databases full of all of our information. And there are data breaches of that occur consistently over the past several years. The biggest one recently is Equifax. 145 million Americans were compromised with all the keys to the kingdom. Social Security number, date of birth, phone number, driver's license information, everything somebody needs to set up a fake identity and do that. And that's why identity theft's rising rapidly because of these data breaches. There were over 1,000 data breaches last year and reported. There had already been way over 1,000 this year. As the FTC said, it's not going to get better, it's going to get worse. An article I sent out yesterday, Richard, talked about just about all small and mid-sized businesses have had cyber attacks, and most of them don't even know about it. Cyber attacks mean they got in there and they got a hold of their information, their sensitive information on their computer. They don't even know about it. And that's where identity theft can come into play and be a life devastating experience.
Surprisingly, many of these companies, even large companies, don't want to spend a lot of money on their security for their internet and Wi-Fi, etc.
Yes, correct.
Now, Don, you carry this plan. I carry this plan. I thought this was important for everybody to hear about it. How would a person go about getting one of these plans?
Well, and yet we have 4 million people across the United States and Canada, and that's growing rapidly, Richard, as more and more people become educated, because so many people think it's just about credit or credit cards, so they just buy some credit reporting service, and it's far more than that. And the way you can get information here and possibly enroll, if you like what you see, www.associates.com, and you can get all the information. Now, also, Richard, 70% of identity theft turns into a legal issue. It starts spreading all over the country. Next thing you know, you got some charge against you in Baltimore or some charge in Colorado, and now all of a sudden it becomes multi-jurisdictional. Well, if you'll look at our legal plan on there that goes hand in hand with it, you're covered nationwide under both of them.
Very exciting, Don. I want you to know that I appreciate you being on the show here today. I'm excited to hear about this, and I'm sure others will be in touch with you soon about this. So appreciate you being on the show. You have an excellent rest of the week now.
You too, Richard.
Thank you very much.
Okay.